you can just take it away from there. So it's all yours.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Julie Kleinhans, and I'm a certified QSCA Law of Attraction coach and instructor. So before we get started today, I want to make sure everyone checks their email, the reminder about this webinar, and there's a link to print out the worksheet so that you can follow along and fill in the blanks as we go. And I am absolutely thrilled and honored to be here to spend this time with you and with Miss Christy Whitman. I'll share a little bit about my story later on, but let me formally introduce you to Christy for those of you that do not know her. Christy Whitman is a transformational leader, celebrity coach, and the New York Times bestselling author of The Art of Having It All. She appeared on the Today Show, The Morning Show, and her work has been featured in People Magazine, 17, Women's Day, Hollywood Life, and Teen Vogue, among others. Christy is the CEO and founder of the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, a 12-month law of attraction coaching certification program. Christy has helped thousands of people worldwide to achieve their goals through her empowerment seminars, speeches, and coaching sessions and products. Christy's life-changing messages reaches over 200,000 people a month, and her work has been promoted by and featured with esteemed authors and luminaries such as Marianne Williamson, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Marcy Shimoff, Brian Tracy, Neil Donald Walsh, Abraham Hicks, and Louise Hay. Wow. She currently lives in Arizona with her husband, Frederick, and her two beautiful boys, Alex and Maxim. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you to you and everyone's on Facebook. And thank you to you and everybody that's on Zoom. I really just want to acknowledge you and congratulate you for showing up here, because there's something obviously calling you. There's a reason that you're here. And so I am so excited to find out what that is and to help you develop that if it's a huge desire within you. So we're going to actually share with you the biggest myths and benefits to becoming a certified and successful law of attraction coach, and give you more in-depth look really at the whole coaching industry as a business, and provide you with more information about the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. So at the end of this call, I'll be extending to you a personal invitation to join our community, which I've come to know as my family, because I truly, truly care about them. I get to see them grow and transform their lives. And I just feel so blessed to be able to be a coach. So you're also going to hear from Julie and hear Julie's story a little bit, that who you just met. And she herself has not only been through the QSCA program, but her life has completely transformed. And so you're going to hear the before and after of what life was before she discovered the QSCA, and find out how she's doing now after she's been satisfied. So I'm excited, or certified. Satisfied? Did I say satisfied? Certified. Well, you're satisfied, but you're also
certified and satisfied.
So those of you that are on Zoom and you can't see Julie, and you really want to see Julie and you want to be more involved in this conversation, I welcome you to go over to Zoom, and there's the call-in information, so you can just call and hear us both, or you can actually see us on video. So I posted all the information to how to link with us on Zoom. If you want to do that, pop off Facebook and join us on Zoom. So here we are. What you got for me, Julie?
So, Christy, let's start with your story. What was your life like before you discovered the law of attraction, and really what led you to become a coach?
Well, that's a great question. I've been actually working with universal laws for about 21 years now. And when I discovered the universal laws, I was really unhappy and I was really lost, because for me, I was told, it was basically imprinted. I was trained that if I wanted to be happy, my body needed to look a certain way, my career needed to look a certain way, I needed to have so much money, I needed to have, career, I needed to have the man, all the external things that a lot of times we're taught that are measures of success. And for me, I had all those things. I had money, I had a great career, living in Chicago, I lived with my best girlfriend, things were good. But I felt so completely empty inside. And I was searching for, it was that beginning of the asking process that many of you are probably in right now or have been in, where you're wanting to find out deeper secrets and more information on how to truly create the life that you want in all aspects of your life. So I was there, and what happened was really miraculous. My life literally did a flip. So instead of looking for my happiness and accolades and success and everything from the outside in, I started searching from the inside out. And I actually found the process of meditation, and I met a wonderful, amazing woman who started telling me about that our thoughts create our reality, and that we're either repelling things from us or attracting things to us. And a lot of times we're mixed up in focusing on what we don't want versus what we do want. And so we keep attracting more of the same. So I kept attracting men that were unavailable, would, disappoint, betray, all that kind of stuff. And when I flipped everything from the inside out, here I am now 21 years later, and I have an amazing husband, amazing man that I love, that's truly a partner in this whole, journey for me. I have a career that I absolutely love. And before, it was like I had a career as a pharmaceutical rep. And every time I went out and did my job, I felt that like the life was just getting sucked out of me. Now I can't wait I have to literally stop myself from working and limit my work time, because I would just keep doing it. And so I just feel so blessed that whatever I call work it doesn't feel like work to me. And I get to be my own boss. And I get to be as creative if I want, or if I get to go as fast as I want or slow down as much as I want. So learning about the 7 essential laws, which we teach in the QSCA. By the way, if anybody wants information on anything during this time together, you can go to christywhitman.com/register just to learn more information. But so we teach inside the QSCA, the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, the 7 essential laws. And these are the laws that I started to apply in my life and literally have changed and transformed every aspect of my life, where I'm truly living like I don't even recognize myself or my life from 20 years ago. And the great thing is that I've kind of harnessed all these laws, put them into a year course. And it's really shortened the learning curve. It doesn't have to take you 20 years to find, fulfillment in all aspects of your life by learning the universal laws like I did and applying them, which is really the key. You can literally transform any situation, circumstance to be what you want it to be. So why did I become a coach is about 5 years into applying this information that I was learning. I was teaching other people because they were asking me, like, what are you doing? And I also at the same time had a book that came through me. And once the book was published, which is my first book, Perfect Pictures, I would go out and speak in spiritual bookstores and church, new thought churches and things like that. And people were asking me, do you coach? And my frame of reference back then was like a football coach or like a children's coach. I was like, there's a life, people can do that? Like people have life coaches? It was like, that just blows my mind. And so for me, it was like, oh, just call me on the phone. So I was helping people learn what I had learned and what I was learning, and they started applying it in their lives and were having just amazing changes. And so I love the feeling of helping them, and I could see it was just such a a sense of purpose that I never had at any other job or in any other position. And so I really pursued it with a full heart. And I was still a pharmaceutical rep working full time. So I would coach people at night and on the weekends. And I just became a coach because it's something that called me. It's like, it's a calling for me. It's not a choice. It's like, I cannot not do it, and everything that comes with it. So that's really why I became a coach, because I just kept following and working with the universal laws. And the universal laws, like law of attraction, literally presented this opportunity to me. And I just leaned into it and loved it. And here I am 20 years later. I have just the most amazing life, and I get to surround myself with just amazing people. I was at the gym this morning, and I was doing some weights, and doing some deadlifts, and all of a sudden I felt a pop in my back. And it felt so good to know what I know, that everything's energy. And all of a sudden it was like a communication that I was tapping into in my own body. And because of how much I have done this work and who I surround myself with, I could easily just text a couple of dear friends of mine and, just ask for some energy and support. And now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm totally fine. So I processed out the energy that was communicating to me. I just feel so grateful that when contrast shows up in my life, like a ping thing in my back, for example, that I have the support, that I know the mindset to move through it. I know I have the processes like we teach in the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, to help me get through and really focus on what I do want, release what I don't. And so, it's just, I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful that I get to actually teach other people to do this as well. So.
Christy, and I'm so grateful that you followed that calling. Because of that, I get to be a coach, and there's thousands of coaches out there because you followed your guidance. So that ripple effect to me is just amazing. And the QSCA, well, I have so much to say about it, but first I want you to tell everybody why you decided to create the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, because aren't there other coaching programs out there? What's the difference?
The difference, definitely, and it's a great question, but I actually created the Quantum Success Coaching Academy because I had 4 people within less than a week period ask me to certify them and to teach them to do what I do, because this way of coaching is universal. So, you can take, as a coach, you can have anybody come to you with any type of problem, situation, goal, desire, and you can help them move through the pain or even focus on and move towards the pleasure of realizing their goals and their dreams, because it's universal. So it works for every single person every single time. And as I was, on stages speaking, as I was privately coaching people, I just have people coming to me saying, I want to do what you do because it's so different than what every other coach I've experienced out there does. And so within literally 4 different people within less than a week, it was like within 5 days, on a Monday, I'll never forget it, I had a coaching client say to me, I want you to teach me what you do, how you do it. And I'm like, I don't do that. I've been certified. Let me tell you where I went. And she's like, no, I want to know exactly what you do. You have a process that's like so amazing. I'm getting amazing results. What do you do? And I said, well, Vanessa, let me think about it. But I just don't do that. I don't certify people. So the next night I was speaking at a conference talking on abundance in Montreal. And it was a 2-part conference, like 2 hours each night. The first night, a man comes up to me and he's like, I want to know what you know. I want you to teach me. And I want to be a coach like you. Teach me what you do. And I'm like, okay, that's the second person in 2 days. And then the third day I had a woman come up to me and say to me, teach me to do what you do. And so finally on a Thursday, by the fourth day, I was coaching Evelyn Apostolou. She was my private client, who's now the lead trainer with the QSCA. And Evelyn said to me, she was like, had this revelation, right? And she's just like, oh my God, I'm so excited to talk to you today. I know it came to me. I know what I want to do. And I said, what? And she goes, I want to be a coach just like you. Will you train me? And I said, well, it's interesting because this week I've had people requesting that of me. And on Wednesday after the thing, early in the morning on Thursday, I said, okay, if I was going to teach people to do what I do so that their clients can have the results that my clients get, what would I have to teach them? And immediately the QSCA was born, like the whole entire process, the modules, everything was like, it just all came to me. And so I told Evelyn, I said, well, I'm actually working on a certification program for coaches. And she goes, if you create it, I'll be the first one to sign up. And I created it, and she was.
That's so cool.
and there are other coaching programs out there. There are some that are really fabulous and run by some of my friends that are transformational leaders. There are some that just don't cut the mustard, and it's unfortunate, and it's a disservice to this whole life coaching, transformational industry that we're in, because someone, to really be a coach and to get better, you need to go through a process, and it isn't over a weekend, and it isn't through downloadable, writings and readings. I mean, you have to have support. We're talking about, when I was creating this, it was like, how can I let people learn this information and implement it and then see the results in their own lives, so that they're coming from a place of knowing this information and then being able to teach it and coach someone from a place of experience, and how can they immerse themselves in that. And that's where the QSCA was born, because it's universal. They work for every single person, every single time. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, if you live in Canada, Mexico, Europe, United States, it's universal. And, I wanted to do it so that it's affordable for anybody that want to experience it, because there are some programs out there that are outrageously out of crazy, and they don't really teach you what you need to know. So for me, it was like, I really wanted to have something that was of tremendous value, and that was able to integrate while people are going through their normal lives, right? I mean, when I was coaching, when I was first learning how to become a coach, I had a full-time job. So I did my coaching stuff at night and on the weekends as a supplement, so that when I started getting enough momentum in my coaching, I was able to quit my day job and then go full-time. So you can learn more about the QSCA, which is the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, at christywhitman.com/register. So there's just information on there as well, even if you're not ready to register. But so yeah, that's why I created it.
So who is the program for, and why would someone want to have a coaching business?
Well, for me, sorry, my Facebook froze for a second. For me, and again, if you're on Facebook and you want to come over to Zoom, I left all the information so you can come on and join us over on Zoom, so we don't have any interruptions on Facebook. But the QSCA program is for, just from a personal level, someone that really wants to have massive transformation in their lives, someone that wants to know the rules of the game. I always say that knowing about the 7 essential laws is so key. It's like knowing the rules of the game. I mean, just imagine going out and never hearing of baseball, and someone hands you a bat and says, okay, go hit the ball. And then you go and run to third base. I mean, you're going to be out. So it kind of makes sense to know what the rules of the game are while you're playing the game. And I feel like these 7 essential laws are just so imperative that we know and that we live from, because that's what helps us feel empowered. That's what helps us feel like we're aligned. That's what helps us feel like we actually can deliberately choose the life that we want to have and not be victim to any circumstance, whether it's bad relationships with money, that's bad, that's, like painful, relationships with a career. I mean, why do something other than because you have to pay bills, but why do something that you have to go to at a place that you don't like, with people that you don't appreciate you, or a job that you just doesn't give you any, it's like soul sucking. That's what being a pharmaceutical rep was for me. It felt like it was sucking my soul. But now it's like, I feel like my soul expands every time I help somebody. So, it's for someone that really wants to have transformation in their lives. This is like an immersion program for universal laws. So even if you don't even want to become a coach, just knowing this information is life-changing. But the benefit of it is that those of you that do have that calling, like I did, that really do want to become a coach, or maybe you already are a coach, maybe you've been coaching for a while on someone else's methodology, or you've learned something along the way, this is definitely a huge, it's not just another tool in your tool chest. We're going to give you a tool chest. And you elevate your own skill sets as a coach, knowing what to do, what not to do. What's the most heart-centered way of marketing your business so that clients are just naturally attracted to you. So we teach business, and there's so many different processes that aren't taught anywhere else. And on top of that, it's like, it just, I just love this program so much. And then those of you that are just brand new, that are wanting to become a coach and are wanting to seek it, and maybe even those of you that have been certified with other companies, but just haven't even gotten your coaching business off the ground, if you really want that handheld, feeling, and you want that support, and you want to come into a conscious community It's amazing how our coaches always support each other, and going through the program, they're helping each other out on Facebook and in the communities that we get together and things like that. So that's who this program is for. And then why would someone want to have a coaching business? I mean, why wouldn't you want to? I mean, for me, like, not everybody's supposed to be a coach, and not everybody should be a coach, and not everybody has a calling to be a coach. So I'm not talking to them. They wouldn't probably be on this call if they wanted to do something else. But those of you that are here, you're here for obviously a reason. And there's just so many, I could talk all day on why someone would want to be a coach. For me, it's truly about being able to be in alignment with purpose and with passion. It's being able to help not only others also, but help myself. Because it's amazing as you're coaching someone, the information, the insights that come in, it's always a perfect vibrational match when you have a client. The benefits are amazing. I mean, I just heard on the radio that Americans, like something about what they would give up for a 10% raise. It's like, I give myself a raise all the time. If I want to create more money, I create other things and other avenues. If I want to create more value, I do other programs. If, I just want to be inspired, I create other books that come through me. So the level of creativity that I get to do being a coach is amazing. There's nothing like seeing someone like you, Julie. I mean, I met you, you were in my very first QSCA class, or I think the second class. Mm-hmm. Yeah, second class. And to see who you were and who you are now, I mean, you're just damn goddess. I mean, you just have total control of your life, designed it, the way you have wanted to. And it's not just you. It's people that are unrecognizable, like Nada, or even Beth, or even Evelyn, or, so many other students I can't even name. But your coaching business, the biggest benefit for me is the personal development that you get to experience as a human being while also being a coach, because you can't take a client where you're not willing to go. And, that personal development, that dedication to growing is just such a phenomenal reason to have a coaching business. And you make your own hours. And, I used to live in Montreal, now I live in Arizona, and I've taken, it doesn't matter where I go in the world, I can either choose not to coach somebody or I could coach. So, I could go on and on.
I know you could. Some great things. So we could be here all day.
We could.
Look, we know that there's coaching and then there's law of attraction coaching. So why the emphasis on law of attraction coaching? Why is that so important? Because there's some people that are saying, well, I'm already a coach. And you were saying there's so many methodologies out there, but why law of attraction coaching? Why is that so important?
Well, what's interesting is it's law of attraction coaching, but there's so much more, as you know, because I always talk about the 7 essential laws. So knowing just about law of attraction, for me, I feel like that's knowing about, kind of going to kindergarten and kind of learning, it's like we need our kindergarten, we need our first grade. But as you learn about law of attraction, you're learning about the basis of how the universe works. If you want to attract and manifest anything in your life, doesn't matter what it is. It could just be more flow in your life. It could be, more courteous people around you. It can be more of a loving support system, or it could be things like a house or a car, or, a career that you love, or more money in your bank, getting out of debt, getting out of a bad relationship, whatever it is. When you apply what we teach inside the Quantum Success Coaching Academy about law of attraction, and then the other universal laws, like the law of sufficiency and abundance, that to me is the law that pulls everything together. So why law of attraction coaching is so important is that we teach you about energy, mm-hmm. and we teach you about manifestation, and we're taking you through those like processes on the calls. So like you're learning and your life is changing. Right. And, and it's just a tried and true principle that everybody should know this information. Everybody should know this information because it's essential to being a happy human being. Really, it is and some people like were raised with this and get this. They just intuitively had it. I wish I was one of those people. I didn't. but it's like, it's essential. My life has absolutely changed, and so have thousands of people because they applied it. It's not just some concept that Christy Whitman or somebody else made up. It's a spiritual, universal principle.
Right. Yeah. And, I want to add to that today it's more important than ever before, because the outside world is noisy. It's crazy. And if you don't know how to navigate through that, you will suffer. So if you don't have these tools that we know, that we teach in the QSCA, it's a painful world out there, because you're, like you said, you're playing the game without the rule book. So it's really important today more than ever.
Yeah, it's like for me, and I don't know about for you, Julie, but like knowing what I know, I don't have to waste as much time and effort and energy on hoping. And, it's like, I understand that if I want to attract something, I have to be a vibrational match to it. And I have to change my own state. I have to release my own blocks. I have to, like today, again, when I got that pain in my back and I felt something pop, I'm like, everything is energy. I need to release this energy, and it's like, I'm attracting this because something inside of me is attracting this. There is no other way. Law of attraction is always giving us whatever we are sending out as an energy, tower, whether through our thoughts, our perceptions, our beliefs, we're all getting that back. And what I love about it is that we have to be responsible. Instead of playing a victim, we get to be responsible for what we attract in our lives. And if something's wonky or there's some kind of contrast that shows up that we don't want, we also have the power to change it. And there's nothing more empowering to me than knowing that if there's a situation or circumstance I don't like or don't want in my life, I don't know, oh, God hates me, or, oh, I guess it's just supposed to be that way, or, I'm not good enough, or whatever, right? It's like, I know I can change the outcome by changing my energetic state.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So there's some myths out there about becoming a law of attraction coach. What are the top 3 myths that you would say?
Well, the first one is that the coaching industry is just a fad and no one's going to use a life coach in the future. And I say, I've seen it like coaching is getting more and more popular, and it's getting more and more mainstream. And it's getting to the point where you look at the top successful people, however you define success, whether it's financial or in career or in their families or whatever, in their bodies and their weight. I would tell you that most people have a coach. I mean, I've got several, right? I go to the gym and I have a personal trainer. I want someone to just hand me the weights, right? And so that I can just do my thing instead of me having to think about my workouts. And, like a trainer is a perfect example. A life coach, most of us have accountability, at some point in our lives. We have teachers, parents, and then we go off, and then even the teachers and the parents may have not have guided us to what is true for us. As a coach, and when you hire a coach, it's like you just have this trajectory of success that would take so much longer than if you didn't have a coach. Right. And so for me, it's like I believe so heavily in coaching and in my own coaching, having my own coaches. It's not going away. It's $1 billion industry, and it's just going to continue to grow as more and more people realize that having that accountability, having, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, it was an
echo. It was an echo.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's not going away. It's definitely not a fad. It's going to be continuing, and it's going to be coming more and more. And the good thing is that there's some people that are called life coaches out there. They call themselves life coaches that have either never been certified, or if they've been certified from like a downloadable program or like a weekend away, and the skill set is just not there, So those kind of coaches won't be taken seriously. But the kind of coaches that we train and, have marinate for a year in a program where they get so much support, step-by-step process, learn universal principles to get them there, they will have success, and they will provide value for their clients, and therefore they will make money. They will make a difference. They will have them design the life that they want. So I think that's a big fad or myth. Another one is that people think that life coaches need to be perfect. And I'm one to tell you, I've been a very successful life coach, but I ain't perfect. I always tease with Tammy that you could be a successful life coach and have some neurosis and still be successful. And, because we're all a work in progress. We're all human beings, but when I get on a call or I'm in a group coaching session with a client, it's not about me, it's about them. And it's about knowing how to guide the clients to the clarity that they need or the desires that they need. So if anybody thinks that you have to be perfect to be a coach, nobody would ever be a coach. I wouldn't have been a coach and started coaching people 15 years ago. I wouldn't have done it. And,
right.
And the other thing is that coaching is people just give advice, and who is somebody else to give me advice? Well, properly trained coaches, like the ones through the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, we don't give advice. We're not here to tell someone what they should or shouldn't do in their lives. We to go through a powerful process to help the person return back to themselves so that they're going within, sometimes for the first time ever, to ask themselves what they want, to get the clarity that they want, to help them heal things that have, imprinted in them that are blocking them. So, coaching is not advice giving. No. And, so that's the cool thing is that the structure. We teach you how to structure a call, processes to do, and the client does the work. We just facilitate the work. So it's amazing.
And when you have your stuff, speaking about thinking you have to be perfect, you go through something, we give you the tools, and then you're the ideal person to go out and help people that are going through what you went through. Like, oh yeah, there's the light bulb. Now I know how to move through this, and there are other people out there suffering with this issue. So it isn't about being perfect. And a lot of times we go through things so that we can transform and then help show other people the way to do it for themselves.
Well, let's talk about that, Julie, because that's a perfect example. I used to say that, some people might feel out of integrity, and I would probably agree. If someone weighs like 300 pounds and they're a lot of pain and they're out of shape, they probably are not the best person to help someone create their ideal body. For me, that feels out of integrity, right? Or if someone has gone through multiple bankruptcies, they wouldn't want to be someone that teaches someone how to make money or, create finances. So there's that truth of it. But there are aspects of your life or other people's lives, you may be really good at being a parent, right. And that's the area that you want to help people, because there's a lot of parents out there that are struggling. I was just with Frederick this morning, and we were hearing a mom talk to her 2 young boys and talking. And I'm like, those kids have turned you off like 5 minutes ago. And she was frustrated. They weren't listening. And I'm like, there's parenting skills. Like the coaches, like a Julie, could help you, but there's people that we are human beings experiencing this thing called life. And if we don't have the knowledge and information or processes, how are we going to know how to parent or how to make money if we've never been shown that, or how to create our ideal body, or how to manifest our ideal partner, or whatever? And there are coaches that can cut that learning curve, but more importantly, be a resource. Because, I know when I was a parent and my kids were young, there were moments of like, I want to pull my hair out, because I would go resourceless because I didn't know what to do until I got the information. And coaches helped me do that in all aspects of my life. So, everybody has something that's a skill set. Everybody has something that they do well in their lives, whether it's, their management of money or their relationship with their husband or wife, or, maybe they were really great in a career and now they want to retire and coach people. I mean, we all have something, a gift, a value that we can all give.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what was that? 2 myths? Is there one more?
No, we went through all 3 of them.
Yeah. That was 3?
Yeah. Oh.
Just like that. Okay. So how much can a coach make? People ask me that a lot.
Yeah. So I hear a lot, can coaches really make money? I met a coach and she was an Uber driver and she didn't, look like she could make money, or, do coaches, every coach I know, they have a side second job. I'm living proof, and there's so many different people that have been certified and trained through the coaching academy that actually make a living as a coach. And really it depends on, what you're really programmed for. But according to a study that was done by PricewaterhouseCoopers that was commissioned by the International Coaching Federation, which is the ICF, coaches typically earn an average of $207 per hour. And like full-time coaches earn an average of $82,000, plus per year. And this is both ICF and non-ICF coaches. And it was about 6,000 that were certified. Now I am a non-ICF coach. The coaching academy, the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, is registered as a continued education for the ICF. But the most recent survey that they did, it was about 12,000 coaches, and the median income, which was about $28,000 a year. So, some make a lot of money, some don't. But the cool thing about it, the really cool thing about it is that how much do you want to make? Because that's what we teach inside the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. If you want to make $20,000 a year and struggle, you certainly can. If you want to make 60, 70, 80, you want to just make an extra couple $1,000s a month to support your family, or save for a, schooling for your kids, or take that fabulous vacation, or just feel like you're doing something that has purpose, that's totally up to you too. But there is unlimited potential and opportunity to make money, because there is unlimited people out there in the universe that can use coaching as a service. And so, that's the cool thing, is that the programming that you have will determine what you make. And so you change the programming, you change what you make. So that's why I said, and this well too, no matter if you decide to go full-time as a coach, or you do it part-time, or you just stick with what you're doing and take the course as a, personal development to learn about the universal laws, everything's going to change. The way you look at money, the way you attract money, your relationship with money, completely changes because of your awareness of the universal laws. So,
right. Yeah. So there's so many benefits of being a law of attraction coach, but let's talk about the top 3 benefits.
Okay. Well, the biggest one for me, honestly, is learning the 7 essential laws. I mean, I just can't, if everything I've learned in my 47 years of being here on the planet is that I'm so grateful that I learned these universal laws. And these are just timeless principles that you can use to help you in every area of your life and your client's life. So I'd say the second probably biggest benefit is that you really accelerate your own personal growth, because you and your clients learn from each other. I mean, I can't tell you, when I'm coaching a client and then all of a sudden something comes through me, a question, and it's like, whoa, I need to ask myself that same question. So I grow as my clients grow. I've grown as my clients have grown. And it's really cool to grow together like that. So you really accelerate your own personal growth. And there's just really accountability on both sides together, which is really cool. And I think the biggest thing is that I feel like I am completely aligned when I am coaching. It's a huge way to make a difference in other people's lives. And I still, to this day, I get hundreds of emails or phone calls or texts from people over the years that I've coached, telling me what a huge difference I've made in their lives. And although I always say to people, I helped you, I helped facilitate the work, but it was you that changed your life. There's no other feeling. I'm so blessed, honestly, to be able to be a conduit for that change and that transformation. So I think that's the biggest thing. I feel like I'm serving the light.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you add more light to the world, your life changes. Just by being that light, you attract everything that is good in this world, because you're putting out light. And which is another amazing thing. Like you said, we learn to work with energy in the QSCA, and that's just amazing. That's where I truly believe the world is ready to learn this, and we need to teach people how to do this. So
I can agree more.
Let's go.
I couldn't agree more. You know what? If more people knew this information, more people had access to this information, if more people know how to apply this information, there would be a lot less pain and suffering. I always like to say out there, because I'm so grateful that who I am in here in my family and the people I surround myself with, I live in a completely different reality than most people out there because I know this information.
Right.
I mean, I could have, with the example of the gym, right? Could have hurt my back and oh, poor me. Oh, that's it. I can't work out anymore. Oh, I haven't, oh no. I could have went into a whole story about it and let that stop me and let that become something. And, and then we go down that whole, even my trainer said, oh, everybody gets hurt at some point. And I looked at him and I go, I don't. It's like, but I got to work on whatever energy this is, whatever energy is wanting to leave my body. Obviously I've attracted this, right? So I have to take responsibility for it. It's going to take my body probably a couple days to assimilate the energy, but it's like, wow, what great awareness of what I needed to release. I'm so grateful I know this so that I might have a 2 or 3 days with an inconvenience instead of creating a poor me life story that attracts so much more drama and pain in the future.
Yeah. Absolutely. You don't have to be a victim. And so many people don't know that. They walk around thinking they have to be a victim. You come into the QSCA and it changes everything. It's like mind blown, really. I get to create all of this and learn how to work with energy. And people in your life look at you and they're like, what are you doing? What are you eating? You're different. Things in your life are just falling into place. I want what you have. So
exactly. It's cool. Like a Harry Met Sally, a skit where the woman's like, I'll have what she's having. That's
exactly.
Right. Because we've had people that have been given a life sentence on terminal cancer that have completely become cancer-free and now living an amazing life. I can think of two people just off the top of my head that thought they would become a coach because it was something that they would be able to do from their bed because they were bedridden. Now, both of them are up and running around, creating a beautiful business. Women that were completely depressed because they were going through a divorce that are now just shining and like being just a huge light. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about
every story.
Even yours, Julie. I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing, what's happened for you. I obviously know your story, but it just keeps getting better and better. So, yeah.
So why should someone get certified through the QSCA? Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I don't ever should on anybody. Sure. This is an option. And that's one of the things we teach inside the QSCA, that there's no shoulds, there's no ought tos, there's no have tos, there's no can'ts. As a person that is coming into your own and that you're not a victim, you're empowered, you get to make choices. And so this is just another choice for you. There are many other certification programs out there. There are even other law of attraction certification programs out there. But why would someone want to join the QSCA is because you learn, like I said earlier, more than just law of attraction. You learn the 7 essential laws. We take you through processes that just aren't taught anywhere else. Processes that have completely changed my life, like future visioning that I learned 20 years ago from, Oren and Daben, and you get to learn, light body and how to work with guided meditations to release energy and change beliefs. You get to, I don't know, it's so good, but you get to learn the most essential coaching skills. You get to learn business practices so that you are, as a coach going into this business, think of yourself in 2 ways. You are a coach with the skill set of coaching. So there's stuff that people have to learn there to develop their skill set. You may have a gift as a coach. People might come to you for advice, or, that you might always have a good perspective for other people. But the skill set of actually coaching is really important to know. And then there's the business side, because how do you market your business from a place of being heart-centered, from a place of being genuine, from a place of not feeling like a used car salesman? Sorry if any of you are a used car salesman. It's just that, 70s, like, I got a deal for you kind of thing. Nobody wants to feel that way. And especially people that are called to be a coach, they don't want to sell. It's like, I don't want to sell anything. So how do you do that? How do you let people know about your services from a place that feels good and in integrity with who you are and what you want to help and teach? So it's invaluable to know that kind of information. Another aspect of the business building is that you actually learn how to run a business and make a profit each month. That's a problem with most new businesses, and it goes for coaches as well. And I even had this problem at first, right? So you get to learn how to create your vision, your life from the ground up, and that includes what you have in your coaching business. So if you want freedom for me is huge. Not having a boss to tell me what to do and where I should be at what time. I own my calendar. Like nothing goes on my calendar that doesn't feel good to me to do. And that's the biggest thing, is that I know that each day when I look at my calendar, what I'm going to be doing is something that I absolutely love. And not many people out there can say that. They hate I was one of them. I hated my job. And even when I worked in corporate America at a biotech company, I had the boss or the co-authors or co-workers that, were catty and just didn't feel like they were my tribe. Now I'm totally surrounded by people that are my tribe. Like I said, I got hurt today and it was like, bam, I had people to contact to help me process the energy and get healings. And, it's like, there's just, it's so invaluable. So
we teach you how to do that too. We teach you how to do that.
Yeah. So you get to kind of hit the ground running in your business and make the money that you want to make. But the great thing about it is that before I even started, so it's been even more since that, but before I even started the QSCA since 2008, so there's been a lot of certification programs that have popped up recently in the last year or two. Just please, if you're choosing a certification program, do your due diligence. That's all I'm asking you to do. You may want to come inside the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. You may not. You may think I'm crazy, wacko person. That's totally fine. If you resonate with me and you resonate with Julie, awesome. Just make your own choices, but do your due diligence. And I invested back in before even 2008, about $300,000 to learn and be trained on this information. And so, you get so much, you invest like a minuscule amount, literally of that, a minuscule amount, and that you receive all the best information. And I leave out all the stuff that didn't work, all the stuff that was taught that I invested in and, went around with. You get the best stuff for so much less. And other coaching certifications are starting at $5,600, $8,600, even $20,000 or higher. The QSCA is so much less than that. It's, it's minuscule. So you can learn more at christywhitman.com/register if you're interested in learning more.
So let's talk more specifically about the benefits within the QSCA. You talked about what you learned, but within the program, what are the benefits? What do people receive there?
Well, once you get certified, you actually get a professional credential as a quantum success coach, or you can call yourself a law of attraction coach. But you get access to all of my digital coaching programs. So I have two parts of my own business is the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, which is the whole track for the best coaches in the world, I might say. They come out just from the QSCA. I feel like it's a womb. You come in and who you're birthed out the other end with all the midwives that surround you. You're just a completely different person. And then we have advanced courses too to help you with we're academy. We're not just like a class. We're a coaching academy. But then I also have, on the other side, my Quantum Success Learning Academy, which is all personal development. And as a coach in going through the program, you get access to all those digital programs. You get access to a program that I used to do with tons of interviews and meditations and just so much content. It's like a library of my work, basically, called the Platinum Coaching Club. You get access to that. You get personal feedback about your coaching. Most other certification programs that I know of do not do that. Like you hand in feedbacks as part of the curriculum. We teach you how to do that. It's very easy. And you actually get personal feedback on what you do on a recorded coaching call so that you can take that information, apply it, and each and every call you're doing, you're getting better in your skill set. I don't know any other certification program that does that, where you get that loving, by the way. It's not like you suck. It's like, it's really loving, non-critical, let me help you, let me buoy you up as a coach even more type of feedback. you get to mastermind with a support team, which we call a pod group, which is such an invaluable part of this entire program, because you are going through with others just like you that are just becoming coaches, and you get to coach each other. You're assigned coaching buddies so that you can work on each other and kind of do the wonky, I don't know what to do, with a real person, but they're, not a paid client, or, just something that you're going through the program with. So you get hands-on training, like I said, as a coach. You will come out of the QSCA confident, at least in your skill set as a coach. I will guarantee that.
Yeah.
Would you not agree, Julie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, there's more and more benefits. You get to be listed on the QSCA website as a certified coach. I know there's been many coaches that have gotten clients because people go to hire, say, me as a coach, and I can't personally take on, the demand that there is for coaching right now, especially law of attraction coaching. So I'm happy to refer people, to coaches that have been certified, and you can put in your niche, and, if you have one, and people can then hire you right from the website. So there's more, but those are the top ones, I would say.
The top ones. Yeah. It's a year-long program. So there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah. So how's the program structured? Let's talk about that, and the time commitment on a weekly basis.
Okay. So I'm loving that you're asking that question. There's minimal time per week so that you can keep doing what you're doing during the certification. It's not supposed to distract you from the rest of your life. You're not having to travel somewhere and, make all these other expenditures with meals and airplanes and hotels and all this kind of stuff. I want it to be virtual so that, at 6:00 at night on Pacific on a Wednesday or Thursday night, in this case, it's a Wednesday night. The classes are on Wednesdays. It's at 9:00 a.m. Or 12:00 p.m. for the morning class, and 6:00 Pacific, or 6:00 Pacific time p.m. and 9:00 Eastern. So wherever you are in the world, you'll have to look up the time zone converter, but basically look up either 12:00 Eastern or 9:00 Eastern. And you have those classes 3 times a month. So it's the first 3 Wednesdays of the month. And so you have it's between about 60 and 90 minutes each class. And then you have 2 pod groups a month that you will be assigned with people that are in your area and your time zone. And the 3 or 4 of you, when you get on a call, will decide on a mutual time. There's minimal hours, and that we're talking like, if you really immerse yourselves in it, maybe another 5 or 6 hours a week doing client sessions, paperwork, homework, studying, learning the processes, utilizing the Platinum Club to its fullest, potential. So it really depends on how much you invest in it. But the times of the classes are 60 to 90 minutes, 3 times a month, the first 3 Wednesdays of the month, and then the 2 pod calls that are 60 minutes each.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's totally doable. And I remember, because I was working full time, I was a teacher, and I remember coming home and be like, yes, it's Wednesday night, it's QSCA night. And the week we had off, I'd be like, oh,
I know.
I didn't have anything to look forward to. I felt like, I missed that week when we had off, because it was just so much fun to be in that energy with everyone.
Yeah. But I also set it up that way so that there can be an integration week.
Yeah.
Because, we have to be able to integrate. So the beautiful thing is when you don't have classes, that's when you can catch up with, doing coaching calls or doing feedback. So it does give you a week where you're off of pod calls and teachings just to catch up with everything. And I feel like it allows everybody to breathe and then get back into the next month fresh and ready to go. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's plenty of time. Absolutely plenty of time to get it all done, for sure.
And we teach you how to play with time. So even if you feel like you don't have time.
Which is great. That's a lot of fun. So how long does it take someone to build a successful coaching business? We get asked that a lot.
Yeah, it could take a lot of time, or it could take not a lot of time at all. It really depends. So some people ask me, will it take a long time to build a successful coaching business? And I say yes and no. So yes, it could take a long time to build a successful coaching business with the wrong plan, no guidance, no accountability, and just trying to work hard every day, not having things that actually work, right? So without the understanding of alignment, which is what we teach, and working with universal laws, it could be a huge challenge and it could be a huge struggle. And that's why a lot of people that call themselves a life coach, they don't succeed, and they don't succeed as much as they want to, because they're missing the most important pieces of creating and growing and really benefiting from a really successful coaching business. So, that it can take a long time, right? That's why I created the QSCA. People were asking for it. They wanted to know what I had known in 15 years of studying, almost 15 years of studying. It's because it can take a long time to build a successful coaching business. But if, and only if, you follow the success strategy that we will show you in the business building module, on all the other, surprise and delights that I give along the way, through the business building module and through the whole entire program, you're following a success formula that's been tested and proven, over and over and over again. So it doesn't have to take a long time.
No. Yeah, you get to choose. You get to choose.
Julie, you're a perfect example. I mean, why don't you share your example? I know that, we want to talk about that and stuff, but, it didn't take you a long time. And you're an amazing story of how, I will tell your story. I mean, you were in.
Yeah, so, when you were talking, a funny memory popped into my head. So I was a teacher, a high school teacher, for 10 years. And in 2009, I was your second semester with the QSCA. I signed up, and I knew this was my calling. And I loved working with kids. I loved working with my students, but it was so frustrating in the schools. And especially once I learned the universal laws, why are we not teaching this to kids?
Right.
Why are we teaching them lies? Which is the basis of my work now.
Yeah.
So as I was learning this, I knew, okay, this is what I have to do. And it's funny because once I started my path with spirituality and learning what started my journey, I remember, because I would work with kids that were troubled in school. And one of the classes that I taught was a law class, and we would take them on field trips to the county jail, to tour the jail.
They can visualize the jail. Great idea.
Yeah, right? So I'm like, oh God, I have to do this again. Talk about like draining energy, soul sucking, right? So I'm on the bus going to the jail, and I'm looking at my BlackBerry, and I'm like, oh God.
BlackBerry.
And then BlackBerry, this is how long ago. So, and I'm like, and then I get this email. I don't know who it was from, but your pretty little face came up, and it was like, join this teleseminar on law of attraction coaching. And I just knew, and I saw your pretty little smile, and I'm like, yes, this is for me. Like, it was, my prayers were answered, and I knew that this was the way out, because I was so unhappy, and I was so unhappy, feeling unfulfilled in my personal life, but also in my career. It just didn't make sense, because these kids, no matter what we were teaching them within the curriculum, they were still suffering, and they weren't changing, because they weren't changing their beliefs and their habits. So that's the work I do. And I signed up with the QSCA, and it's just been so great, because I get to help parents and teachers now. So I just think of the ripple effect. Like you were saying before, imagine we grew up knowing this information. So I get to do that now. And another part of my life was, I knew that I did not want to have a child. If I was waking up at 5 a.m. every day, and then driving 40 minutes to work and then back. And once I left and I started my career, 4 years later, I got pregnant, and the amazing thing is I get to stay home with Jack. And when I had him, I was able to change my hours, do as much or as little work as I wanted to. And he'll be 3 this month, at the end of the month. And now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back out there and do different things and take on more work, because I'm ready now that he's 3. I get to choose to tailor it. I get to have people come into my house and stay with them, with Jack, while I'm home. Yeah. So it's such a blessing, because I don't have to leave the house and say, bye, Jack, I'll see you tonight at 6,
Yeah.
So,
I agree with you. Obviously I had 2 boys. I have 2 boys that were 16 months apart, and I built my business, and I coached my clients, and I made a difference while both of them were at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them. I saw every time, they pulled themselves up or walked for the first time or spoke for the first time. I mean, I've been there for everything, every major event for them, up until they were 6 and started going to school. And that is just absolutely priceless to be able to have that. And, oh my God, it's like, for me, there was no other choice. It was like, I don't want to do both. Right. It was like, I want this one. I can do both and feel good about both.
Yes. You get to choose. You get to choose how you want to design it. And that's the cool thing. There's no right or wrong about how you choose to do it, whether you're working 10 hours a week or 60 hours a week because you can't pull yourself away because it's so much fun. You get to choose.
Exactly. I know a lot of my friends that don't have kids and that are in this industry. I mean, they just do it because they love it and they work, and for me, I get to play the balance and decide, okay, I don't coach on nights and weekends anymore because I've got my family and that's family time. And, I make my own boundaries. I make my own hours. So, and it's been just an amazing thrill to watch you morph from someone that went to school, wasn't happy, to then that day when you decided to quit your job and you went full-time in your coaching, and to see how you succeeded and to see the stuff you created and the summits and all the value and the effects that you were having. And then you got pregnant. It was like, okay, slow things down, have my Jack, it morphs as you do. And that's the beauty of it, that a coaching business is like, you get to decide what it looks like and feels like for you.
Absolutely. And the amazing people that you meet, the colleagues that you meet as you're doing this, the connections you make, and other people teaching me things through working with them as colleagues and bringing people resources to my audience. That's a lot of fun too. It's like this amazing community, and we all experience a reality that people don't understand unless they're in it. You have to be in this energy, in this world, to understand what we're talking about. So we really want to invite everyone into this world because it's a fun, beautiful, amazing, loving world. You get to choose and create it.
David Metzer, he was at the Unstoppable Gala and he spoke, and he was like he kind of started a business. The movie Jerry Maguire. Mm-hmm. It was based on like what he did. And so he's a very successful guy. And when he came on stage, he said, there are 3 ways of living your life. One, that nothing is ever enough, which most people out there do. Mm-hmm. It's never enough. Or we have just enough, still very much coming from lack and very scared, like, oh, it might run out. Or a life where you have more than enough. And that's the reality. That's the realm of abundance. And that's what we're talking about here. It's like, imagining the QSCA is a door in front of you. Here's your opportunity. Literally open the door, get yourself through, because it's a whole different world.
It's a different world, different reality. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's honestly the best thing I've ever did. Best thing I ever did. I can't imagine if I didn't do this where I would be. I don't even want to think about that because it's not a reality I want to entertain.
Right? Yeah. You know how many times I hear that a day? Mm-hmm. That was the best thing that they've ever done for themselves because their lives are completely different.
Yep.
So I feel so blessed.
Me too. Yeah. So Christy, I understand you have a special offer for everyone that's here with us today that's interested in joining the QSCA. So can you tell us more about that?
Yes, absolutely. So the regular tuition is $4,997, and you can get a $1,000 discount just by sticking with us through the rest of the webinar today and hearing what we have to say. So there are 3 ways to enroll. We have a single investment option. There's a 3-pay plan. And then there's a 13-pay plan to help you, be able to finance this throughout the year. So you can get started as literally as $347 today when you sign up. The classes start the first Wednesday of May, which is the 2nd, so May 2nd. So I encourage you to take advantage of the single pay plan because that saves you a little bit extra money. But, that's really it. So you could go to christywhitman.com/register. I always say to people, if you just kind of feel your way into this, if it feels like, yes, it's a calling for you, then go with it. Because, and if you feel like it's not for you, then don't. you know, you're not a match. We don't want you. If you're not a match for us, we're not a match for you. And there's other ones out there. The beautiful thing is you have absolute choice. And I encourage you to go find the one that you really, really resonate with. Some of you will, some of you won't. Not everybody's going to be able to join us. We do have limited capacity because we're very invested in the coaches, the clients that come through. And we want to give you special attention and we want you to have the best experience. So we can't have like thousands of people coming in. We just don't have the staff for that. And it, you know, the quality wouldn't be there. We're not want to, you know, push people through. This is a life-changing decision. You are actually, as a life coach, going to be affecting change for another human being. Right. I mean, it's a responsibility. So if it's a responsibility, get trained well. And I will tell you, I've had people that have gone through the QSCA. Again, we've been in business since 2008. So there's been people, coaches love to learn. Coaches have gone through our program, gone and done other programs from really well-known people and come back and said, theirs were like 3 to 4 times the price of yours. And I didn't get one pinky of the value that I did in, you know, what you do in the QSCA. So again, it's, you know, I'm not here to sell anybody on anything. Either feel your way into it. And if you feel like, yes, this is a place, this is a home for me, this is a family that I want to be in, great. If not, I wish you the best. If you're ready, then go to christywhitman.com/register. I know Tammy and Teresa have posted on Zoom and also on Facebook the link so that you can go check it out. But like I said, we have, you know, the 3 different payment plans. We have the 3 pay, the 13 pay. And all I can say is just imagine who you will be at the end of April next year. Because I know that change, and in the most possible way, not change, you know, a lot of people don't like change, but it's like, imagine if each part of your life that you may be struggling with right now, or that you have a little disturbance in your life, or that you just really want to desperately change, all of that and more can completely be different for you. Yeah. Because you will be applying not just Christy Whitman's information. I learned this information because it's universal. I still apply this in my life today. There's not a day that doesn't go by where I don't apply this information. Like my example of hurting my back this morning. I immediately went in and started applying, and now my back is awesome. It's like I'm doing great.
Once you know it, you can't unknow it.
Yeah, we always said, right? You can't unbirth a baby. As much as I tried, I can't put it back in. You know, it's like it's birth. Once you're birthed, you're birthed. And once you know this information, your level of awareness, your consciousness, you know, is different. You're different. You're different on the cellular level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just...
Yeah, you're not dealing with the stuff out there. You're just not a part of it anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're just not a vibrational match to it. And there's a lot of stuff going on out there. That's why I say it's never been more important than now to work on your stuff and go through a transformational program. Yeah. It's time. You have to do it, or you're going to, and you know, it doesn't mean that you have to become a coach, but you know, if you're suffering in your life and you don't go through some kind of transformational program, it's not going to go away. So the benefit of going through this transformational program, and you want to be a coach so you could get out there and teach it to other people, I mean, wow, that's a win-win. Just a win-win.
It really is. I mean, we teach you how to design the life that you absolutely love, and we give you the tools to do it. So, I mean, again, you're either like, okay, I'm in, or you're like, yeah, it's not for me. Either way, great. But here we are. Here's a special invitation. It's your chance to join us. We don't know that we usually, typically, if you've been on in my community for a while and you've known me or on my Facebook, we typically would do 2 times a year. We would have a May class and then a September class, an October class. And we may not be doing the October class this year because I have a new book coming out. And so this might be it for this year. We may have like a silent little offering at the end of the year, but I don't know. We don't have anything planned for, since 2008, we've been doing 2 classes a year, and we're now just going to do 1. So now is your opportunity. And if it doesn't feel right for you at the time, if your fear's coming up, then that's one thing. But if it's for you, you're like, I want to join, but it's just not the right time, honor that. But if it's something that I want to join, I feel a calling, I want to do this, but I'm scared, of course you are.
Right. I was going to ask you to speak about that, because it's not like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and the fear doesn't come up. Fear will come up because that's that part of you keeping you from changing, that ego part saying, stay the same.
Yes.
Change is bad.
So, and the ways that we do that in our life is either, oh, I can't afford it. Okay, well, please stop saying that language immediately, that you can't afford something. Just make it more empowering language. Like, it's just not a financial priority for me right now, or, I'm choosing to pay for other things right now. But if you have money stopping you, you have money stopping you in other aspects of your life. So why not get under the circumstance of money, learn how to change it and shift it. And then, long-term, your entire relationship with money changes. So it's a very, very different life. If you have relationship with time, you just don't have enough time. You're all scattered. You're always going. Oh my God, it's like you're spinning out of control. When are you going to slow down? This will give you grounding information to help you to prioritize you in your life. Because, if you're not doing something for you to be happier for you in your life, to better yourself, to make yourself feel good, to go after your dreams, to listen to your calling, then what are you doing?
Right.
Time then will always be that excuse, or it could be a relationship, or it could be your body. Maybe you don't feel well enough. Whatever the things are in your life that feel very real, I get that they're real. But if they are stopping you and limiting you in some way, in any aspect of your life, they are going to continue to limit you if you allow them to.
Yes.
So here's your invitation. Join us. Looking forward to see those that have joined as being part of the family. You are in really, really loving, good hands. We are all thrilled for each one of you that is coming in. I'm so grateful. I don't take it lightly that someone would spend their time, their precious, precious time with me in an aspect like this, or even listening to the recording. And, saying enough to go, yes, I don't know, I trust myself, or I trust this person to be able to invest in this way. Coaching certification, ones that are worth their salt, are going to be an investment. And we don't take it lightly. We take it very seriously, and we're going to give you the best customer service and support out of anybody out there. I will guarantee that. So have an amazing day. Julie, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here with me and helping me. And I'm truly just so proud of you. You have become you were a young girl when I met you, and unhappy. And I look at you now, and it's like the goddess that you have become and what you've created in your life. You're just such a beaming example of, when someone takes this information, learns it, and then deliberately applies it, like what all is possible. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.